Okay, here's an overview of the tanky wizard build. I'm only level 6 right now, so you can start using this really early on. You can use this earlier than level 6, actually, but the important attributes are going to be might, constitution, dex, and intellect. Intellect for the essence pool size, dex for your like casting speed and attack speed, constitution because you're going to be tanking, so you want a lot of health, and then might for damage. And the important spells you're going to want are Arcane Veil. This is one of the most important ones. It reduces damage by 50%, and then once you rank it up, it also reflects arrows and projectiles back at the enemies. So that alone is very broken and would be good for like any character, basically. And then another important one is Parasitic Staff. This summons a staff that does like a pretty good chunk of damage. Like you kill enemies pretty fast with it, but that aside, every time you hit an enemy, it recharges your essence. So by the time you're done with the fight, it's like you didn't cast any spells. It's crazy. You get all of your essence back. And then another really important one is Corrosive Siphon. This one damages the enemy, but then also heals you every time you damage an enemy. So after you've tanked some damage, your health... Honestly, the shields are so effective that you don't really lose that much health. But if you do lose health, you can use this to get it back while still damaging enemies. So it's very useful. And then a fourth that's just kind of nice on top of this, but honestly, you don't even really need it, is Bristling Frost. This is another shield spell. It reduces your damage by another 10%. But it also continuously does ice damage to enemies that are nearby. And then once you rank it up, it just does more damage every time they hit you. And also, I think it freezes them or stuns them or something. But yeah, there's a grimoire with these 3 spells together, which is also part of why you can do this build so early. It's called the Beothal. I have no idea how to say that, but Beothal's grimoire. You can see it as Corrosive Siphon, Arcane Veil, and Parasitic Staff. So like you get this grimoire and you basically are good to go on this build. So I'll show where to buy that. You buy that in town. It's really easy to get because of that. I think it's kind of expensive, but yeah, you can still get it real early. And then final note on the build is you should use armor with this build, because you're constantly recharging your essence anyway. There's no reason to use a rogue. This minus 30 on the maximum essence like does not matter at all. We come out of the fight with our essence bar all the way at the max, so you might as well use armor, further reduce the damage you're taking. This is where you can buy that grimoire that you need for this build, the Yothel's grimoire. Right here, Southern Parody, this merchant, Maryland. Okay, and for the demonstration of the Tanky Wizard build, you can see I have the Grimoire equipped here with all those important spells. I also have some of the same spells equipped for use without a Grimoire. That way, if I swap to my other Grimoire and sword, I can still use some of them, and can still use some of them while I have that staff out. Because once the staff is out, you don't have access to the Grimoire, because it's a two-handed staff. But anyway... all you do is you do Arcane Veil, and then I'm going to use the Blizzard Shield as well, and call on the staff. And then you can see, like, when they hit me, I take barely any damage, and they take ice damage from that. And then I just sit here, hit him with the staff, and get mana back. Doing tons of damage. It's pretty ridiculous. And then, okay, so my shields ran out, so I kind of play a little defensively. And then now I can do the shield back without using the Grimoire, because my staff is still out. Oh, there goes the staff. Another thing you can do with this build is use a sword. And... yeah, it's ridiculous. You take barely any damage. You get all your mana back after the fight. It's broken. Oh yeah, by the way, the difficulty I'm playing on is hard, just in case you were wondering.